Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I rebuilt my SaaS onboarding flow after users complained it was too much. A few weeks ago, a user texted me that they were receiving a lot of emails about changes that we had detected on their competitors, and most of those changes were going to spam. So I had one of my team members analyze the application and see if that was the case, and we noticed that most of the emails, including the out emails, were going to spam. So we had to try and analyze where the issue was coming from, and we noticed a really huge gap on that. So I'm going to take you through on what we changed, why we had to change it, and the current setup that is currently in production. So I'm going to log in here, and once I'm logged in, this is the production version. So I'm going to show you what made us change the onboarding or the flow to adding a competitor in the site, and what was really causing our emails go to spam, of which we already fixed that. So I'm inside SpyGlow's dashboard right now, and I'm going to go to changes, and in this page you can see all the changes that have been tracked about my competitors, that is, and I'm only viewing high impact changes. So if I switch to all impact, you're going to notice all these changes, which includes the high alerts, the low alerts, and the medium alerts. So users were getting a lot of emails because they didn't have a way, or they didn't know that they were setting to receive email notifications on their email, of which this led to users who don't remember actually setting to receive SpyGlow notifications via email to receive a lot of email, which includes the low changes, the medium changes, and the high changes, which might have led to them marking them as spam because the users don't remember actually setting that up. So I'm going to take you through the process. So the process is you come to all competitors, and let's say you add a competitor. So this is the current setup we have right now of adding a competitor. So one adds their domain, their competitor domain, right? And then they clicks autofill. So what we do is autofill the details and then show them a screenshot of that homepage of that competitor. And once they have the screenshot here, most of them couldn't know that they can actually discover more pages, or let's say select a section of that screenshot to actually monitor. So for example, if you want to monitor the zero part of this page, which for this case we're using Stripe, you just click add section, and I noticed they were going ahead and clicking just start monitoring. When they click start monitoring, we start monitoring, let's say, that page or that section, and by default we send them notifications via email and also inside the app. So when they click start monitoring, it starts monitoring this competitor if they make changes on that section, because a lot of people could miss this tab which says monitoring settings. So you can see that based on the plan you are on, be it growth or a free plan, we have a time when we monitor your competitor. So for example, in this case, default is selected, and then notify me via in-app, email, and Slack is not turned off. But you can see that by default, in-app, which means notification inside the app, are turned on, and then we have email notifications. So this means that this user is going to receive email notifications for all changes, be it pricing, content, hiring, press, market, and any changes that are more than 5. So we have an AI engine that checks those changes and then scores them based on the importance of the change itself to your company. So they would miss this, which now would lead them to receiving a lot of emails. Because when you start monitoring, we do a CI behind the scenes, trying to give you an enrichment of that competitor. And then once changes are discovered, for example, if I switch here and then click this one, you can see now this is a high change, where we tell you what you need to do, why it matters, and what changed. And then we have individual page changes, where you can see the summary, the text div, either side by side or inline, and then compare the screenshots. But now, earlier on, we had to change something here as well, where you can see that this is a consolidated report, where it shows you a summary of all the 12 pages scanned and the importance of that. And then below here you can see that we have this table which has 12 pages. We scanned 12 pages, and then you can click to see an overview of each. So we had another problem which we already fixed, where we could send every alert for every change. And then we came up with this system from users' feedback that you're supposed to create one consolidated report instead of spamming the user with a lot of emails based on what changed. And now I'm going to take you through the new process, which the new process was supposed to eliminate that friction of users not knowing that they are actually setting notifications by default to their email, and also eliminating that problem of them marking our emails as spam. So right now you can come here and then add competitor. But before we actually go there, let's come back. So we had this problem where, let's say if I want to add a competitor, I don't know about that competitor, right? Or I don't know their domain. So for example, let's say I didn't know Stripe uses either a .com or a .io domain, so I don't know what to actually enter. But we have a feature for that where you can go ahead and discover the competitor from your domain. So let's say we select your domain and the agents inside the application already know what to search for on your competitor. But now this seemed to be a lot of work for a user. So now we have a simplified process. So this is now what we have. I'm inside my local drive, so by the time this video comes up, you're going to see this new process and not the old one. So we have 4 steps. We are prioritizing 4 steps. First of all is find a competitor, what to monitor, and then alerts, and then you review. So for example, here I go ahead and let's say I don't know the domain, right? Let's say I don't know the domain. I just start typing, right? And while I type, it auto searches for that domain. You don't have to enter .com or .io, .dev. You just have to scroll through the results and see the most relevant, which in this case, I'm searching for Stripe. The same would apply. Let's say we search for SpyGlow. You'll notice that it appears here as the most relevant, but you can go ahead and check more pages based on that. If you don't find any values here, you can go ahead and add that competitor manually. And if you now don't know about the competitor, you can go ahead and use the discover because you don't know which competitors you want. So this is the first step, which I think it fixes that friction or that gap where users don't know what to actually search for or who to actually monitor. So here I'm going to also do, let's say, Stripe, right? And then select Stripe. So the moment you select Stripe, we already autofill the icon, the details, description, and then one clicks continue. And now they are taken out to this page where now we take a screenshot like we did earlier on the other process and then discover most important pages for this specific domain. So now you can see that we have committed these pages: pricing, sales, atlas, these pages from Stripe itself. And then we are going to populate the screenshot on the right. So if I come back here and then let's say I click add competitor, on the flow I showed you earlier, you're going to notice that this part has a gap because most of the time users would add the domain here and then they see a screenshot and they go ahead and start monitoring immediately. We are not populating the most important pages for that competitor, and users might miss that they need to add these pages manually. So this step was supposed to solve that issue. So here we have now the domain you added, of which you can click edit competitor and it takes you back to step 1. Homepage is monitored by default. You can go ahead and delete these pages we suggested for you, or turn them off so that we don't monitor them, or you can add pages manually, for example /careers, and then click add. Or if you don't like these pages, you can rerun the discovery. And then now we give the screenshot some room for you to select what you want monitored. So you can go ahead and just scroll through the screenshot itself and then let's say select this is the section you want to monitor. So for example, you just select there, and then let me switch to sections. I just noticed a bug. I'm going to fix that. So when you select a section, you just either select the large area of that section or just what you just selected, and then go ahead and click monitor this section, of which you're going to notice some bugs, but I'm going to fix them. And once you click monitor that section, or let's say you don't want to monitor sections for this page, but you want to monitor some sections for, let's say, this page. So the same happens. You select the page, then you are going to try and autofill the screenshot for you, and then you can select what you actually want to monitor. The same happens with other pages, for example, this pricing page. So, but if you don't want to monitor a page, you just delete it. So this is supposed now to eliminate that gap, as I said, of when users don't know what to actually monitor or which pages to monitor. So we auto recommend pages for you based on that competitor you're trying to monitor. And then now you click next. So this is the part that now is going to eliminate that process of users receiving email alerts from us without knowing that they actually set email by default. So I come back here and go to monitoring settings. You'll notice that my email is by default, but we have in-app as dashboard alerts. So if I come back here, you're going to notice in-app is set by default, and then what we are going to send you, which is already recommended, is high changes only. So if I come to the main site and then close this and come to changes, so if I have, let's say, 100 changes this week, I'm not going to receive alerts about the low changes, the medium. I'm only going to receive high changes, which, for example, if you check here, you can notice that we have this change that was detected 27th April, and then we have this which was detected 1 hour ago. So that's like 5 days apart or 7 days, and that's why we recommend high only, because estimated alert is going to be low, about 1 alert per week. But you can go ahead and now select high plus medium, which is going to be, you can receive 2 to 3 alerts per week, or all alerts. This includes high, medium, and low. And then now this makes sure that when a user is setting up a competitor and then they receive emails, they're going to remember, oh, I did set this. So what they need to do is not mark them as spam, but come in the dashboard and actually turn the notifications off. And then we have how you want to receive those alerts. You can either get a daily digest or one report that explains the changes made that day, or you can get instant, which is now going to be when a change is detected, you get instant alerts, or you can wait. Maybe we send you one email that includes all changes that were detected that whole week, but we recommend the daily digest based on the plan you have. And then the user goes ahead and clicks continue, and then now they taken to this page where they can review the setup. So you are monitoring Stripe itself. These are the pages you're going to monitor. You can click edit, and then the alerts, of which you can go ahead and edit, and then we tell you what happens next. So we'll start scanning the selected pages. High impact changes will appear in your changes view, and you can ask Glow for summaries and insights. So now when a user goes ahead and clicks start monitoring, they already know what we are going to be tracking because they set that up, and that saves us the problem of having to rechange or update our email setup because many users have marked these changes as spam. So that's why I had to change the onboarding flow, and once I deploy it to production, I hope users are going to like it, because now it's going to eliminate a lot of emails and any other problems that comes with it. So if you are building a SaaS and your onboarding is doing too much before the user even knows what the product is actually about, you can try SpyGlow. Check the new flow I've implemented, and also let me know if you have any gaps on what I've been changing and what I've implemented so far. But I think it's going to solve a very big problem on our side and also on the user side as well. And subscribe if you want more videos like this, where I'm going to be rebuilding either parts or building based on users' feedback. And I'm going to be honest on what works and what doesn't. So you can subscribe, turn on the notification so that you get notified when I upload a video, and I'll see you in the next one.